In this video, we will continue reading Huwa-Nofuli's Papyrus, and we will be reading column 3. As stated in the previous videos, the ancient Egyptian language, which they called Hw-nfr, was written mostly without vowels. The current vowels used are reading aids created by Egyptologists for convenience, and they are not correct. The missing vowels have been unknown to Egyptologists, but these are present in the Proto-Bantu language and other Bantu-derived languages. The Proto-Bantu language shares the same consonant sequences as the expressions in Hw-nfr, making them the same language. As always, we will do a read-through of the expressions on the papyrus using the matching Proto-Bantu expressions with their vowels, and then explain what these expressions mean. So column 3 reads Mahwa Jade Injarali Luwa Mwawana Futa. When oversimplified, this column is saying the ideal spirit states of those who hold us together, belonging to the Sun Spirit. See how it shines. So let's go over each expression. Mahwa is the ideal spirit state, that is the reflection of the guardian spirits or the ancients, which must always be maintained by Vanavajundu in order to hold on to the tether to our guardian spirits. This expression is usually pronounced Muya because the back throat sound tends to be difficult for people to get right. It is easy to mistake for Hwa or Wuhwa, which means death, and that's not what we're trying to say. The Hwa comes from the sound for hand. In Plateau Tonga, we call the hand Kwanza. The Hwa sound is what we're actually saying when we say Mahwa or Mahwa. This is why this sound is also represented by an open hand hieroglyph, because that was Kwanza or Kwanza. Jade, strictly speaking, means belonging to the ones who keep us stable. We have covered the meaning of de in previous videos, and this means ones who keep us stable. This is the same de in ile de amwana, or vaye de, which is often mispronounced as vaye de. It's actually vaye de. Ja means belongs to, as in chijani, chijangu. Inja, strictly speaking, means one belonging to. This is slightly different from the ja, just previously explained, because when we add that I prefix to an expression, we are talking about one thing. The N is a pronoun preposition which emphasizes belonging without question, and ja still means belongs to. So this expression is the unquestionable emphasis that this belongs without a doubt to what follows. Gali, strictly speaking, means life force, which is the meaning of the ra. It is not a ka, it is ra. And the closest sound to this is the GA sound, so most people default to say ra. It is ra. And li means most beautiful sound. So this means life force and most beautiful sound. So connecting Injagali, we get belongs without a doubt to the life force and most beautiful sound. Now for this next one, we use the L and not R. So R and L are generally interchangeable. The people in the Great Lakes region use R, and we in the South tend to use L. I mean, we always use L. So here, this would be lu, and the is actually the hieroglyph that ends this actual expression, which is usually taken to mean Ra, and it is lu, and it's actually got a lot of depth to it. So it's the same sound as the mu, because we are still speaking of the ideal spiritual state of the guardian spirit. This guardian spirit, in this case, who is more than enough of the or ideal spirit states of being, and is the perfect representation of the ideal spirit state of being. Mawona is a common expression that we still use, and it is taken to mean do you see, or have you seen, or to see, or to reveal something. And strictly speaking, the M means within, Wa is a synonym for of, Wo is a synonym for revealing or to see something, Na is a synonym for perfect reflection. So this expression means within the perfect reflection of revealing, basically to reveal or to rise or to be seen. Futa simply means something that is bright and shiny. We went over this expression in a previous video, and it had the wu verb prefix as in wufuta. Here the prefix has been dropped, but it still means the same thing. So altogether, this column reads, the ideal spirit states belonging to the ones who keep us stable, belonging without a doubt to the life force and most beautiful sound of the guardian spirit, who is more than enough of the ideal spirit states. See how it shines. Now, when appended to the preceding columns, the papyrus reads, Zuba Dewa Mujati Si Wagufuta Wawanavana Fumagati Te Palo Gatubatata Ntupati Ina Iliwasi Huwa-Nofuli Ma Yade Ingarali Lu Mwabona Futa. In English, the sun or star, the stability of the ones who keep us stable, the most paramount who shines brightly, one who rises and is revealed to the children early from the horizon, which sure is your home. Become like the benevolent guardian spirits, the highest among us in the heavens, namely the paramounts, Huwa-Nofuli. The ideal spirit states belonging to the ones who keep us stable, belonging without a doubt to the life force and most beautiful sound of the guardian spirit, who is more than enough of the ideal spiritual states. Within the perfect reflection, see how it shines. I will cover column 4 in the next video, but before I end this video, I just want to talk about a comment that I saw stating that this work is completely wrong, and the person was obviously reading out of Budge's translations and taking those to be absolutely correct. Now, Budge did a lot of work on the ancient Egyptian language, and I dare say he knew that it was African, but publicly never acknowledged it. I think this is mostly true because the chances of him figuring out as much as he did without comparing it to any of the interior languages in Africa is very unlikely. We have to keep in mind that the Proto-Bantu were known to historians, and they were described as Abyssinian or Abyssinian looking, which was an effort to define them as Afro-Asiatic and not completely African. But they were the Proto-Bantu, and they were African. They were the people that coined the term Bantu. I will correct the expressions I get wrong because this work was written thousands of years ago and it was written without conjunctions, which makes it harder to read for most people. The one reason I am able to recognize these expressions and pick up on the nuances is because my gapa, or grandmother, was an oracle, and she spoke this way, and I was around her a lot. Her kin were oracles, and her mother was an oracle. They are who we call Vana Sigalinda. I just feel like I'll manifest one of them just saying it right now. The point is, I will make the corrections as they happen, but it doesn't negate that this is an African language, specifically the Proto-Bantu language. I believe we should question everything. That's how I was raised and that's my culture. So this work I'm doing should be questioned, but it should not be discredited by words alone. And the questioning should be done with proof. Just like math, if you think I'm wrong, show me how by using the Proto-Bantu language and showing that the comparisons I'm making here are incorrect and don't exist. Otherwise, don't show up screaming because, as Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go higher, but I will drag you along with us by your hair until you get to our altitude. So, feel free to prove what I'm saying is not correct using the Proto-Bantu language and that these aren't the same languages. This language is our human story. It's a clue as to what happened to our people. It's not some ancient myth or legend. And one reason many people might have wanted it to be a myth is because their religious teachers found that while looking for Prester John in Africa, these people actually still existed, and it distorted everything they thought was true. So they needed this to remain a myth, and that could be one reason why African history is an artificial black hole. It's like there's no information, or the information is just wrong, deliberately wrong information. So I will continue making these videos because I think, just like the history of India, we all deserve to know what the stories are, and we can't be silenced for the benefit and comfort of a few. So that's not going to happen. Thank you for watching, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe. A big thank you to our supporters on Ko-fi. You make this research and these videos possible. If you would like to show your support for this research and these videos, the link to our Ko-fi is in the description box. Thank you for watching.